Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's Joint National Park Service United States Navy National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day ceremony. I'm Jason Blunt, Chief of Interpretation for World War II Valor in the Pacific National Monument, and I'm truly honored to serve as today's Master of Ceremonies on this historic 77th anniversary. This year's theme is Forging the Future, the unconquerable spirit of America in 1943. Just imagine, only 2 years after the attack 75 years ago, in 1943, American service members were advancing around the world unconquered. They were achieving victory against tyranny. They were building confidence, cooperation, and commitment with the Allied forces. They were forging the future. Today, we pay tribute to those members of the greatest generation who rose to the challenge, beginning here in Pearl Harbor and on Oahu, in the name of freedom in order to achieve a more peaceful world. Will guests please rise as able for the arrival of the official party? The official party for today's ceremony includes Ms. Jacqueline Ashwell, Superintendent, World War II, Valor in the Pacific National Monument, National Park Service. Navy Region Hawaii and Naval Surface Group Middle Pacific arriving. Indo-Pacific Command arriving. Yes, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is customary on December 7th that we observe a moment of silence at 7:55 to commemorate the beginning of the attacks on Oahu. At 7:55, the USS Michael Murphy will sound their ship's whistle to begin the moment of silence. Completing the moment of silence will be F-22 Raptors from the 199th and 19th Fighter Squadrons, known as the Hawaiian Raptors, executing a missing man flyover formation just beyond the USS Arizona Memorial and over Ford Island. In honor of all of those who lost their lives in defense of their country 77 years ago today, please remain seated as this flyover takes place. The missing man formation was first used by the United States military in 1938. While aircraft have evolved and modernized since then, the concept of paying tribute to the fallen with this aerial salute is still used at funerals and memorials today. You may see one aircraft pull away from the formation and fly high into the clouds to honor the lives lost on December 7th. This tactic of a single aircraft pulling away from the group was not part of the original missing man formation, but has come to be a routine element since the end of World War II. It represents a lost comrade departing while humanity and the mission at hand continue. The gap in the formation symbolizes our fallen comrades and demonstrates to all that we shall remember their sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please bow your heads as we observe a moment of silence to honor the events that occurred at this moment 77 years ago today. We'd like to thank the 199th and 19th Fighter Squadron for participating in today's ceremony. Please rise as able for morning colors and the performance of our national anthem, followed by the state song of the U.S. Pacific Fleet Band. Bugler, sound attention. Color guard, parade the colors. Retire the colors.
Ready, two. Right, face. Forward, march. Left,
Guests, please be seated. It is customary for ships passing the USS Arizona Memorial to pay their respects by rendering honors. Approaching, you will see the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, the USS Michael Murphy, commanded by Commander Kevin Lewis, who graduated from the United States Naval Academy with the class of 2000. Today, in addition to rendering honors to the USS Arizona crew, still entombed in their watery grave, the USS Michael Murphy will also render honors to Pearl Harbor survivors and World War II veterans who have gathered with us today. Michael Murphy, the Protector, recently returned from deployment. The USS Michael Murphy was forward deployed to the U.S. 7th Fleet Area of Operations in support of security and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. The ship is named for Lieutenant and Navy SEAL Michael P. Murphy, a New York native who was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for his heroic actions during Operation Red Wings in Afghanistan in 2005. Murphy was the first person to be awarded the Medal of Honor for actions in Afghanistan and the first member of the United States Navy to receive the award since the Vietnam War. USS Michael Murphy arrived at its home port here in Pearl Harbor on November 21st, 2012. Mr. Everett Highland, as a representative of all Pearl Harbor survivors, will lead us in a salute. He is escorted by his granddaughter, U.S. Navy Commander Anne Marie Genotti. Everett was standing on the deck of the USS Pennsylvania when it took a direct hit from a 500-pound bomb. As Everett put it in his own words, "We'd gotten through the first wave of the attack okay. Unfortunately, we weren't so lucky with the second. I happened to be standing near where the bomb exploded when it hit. It knocked me through the air and I landed flat on my face." Mr. Highland suffered multiple wounds and severe burns on his hands and his face. Of his entire squad, he was the only person to survive. Later that day, Everett's brother, who was serving in the United States Marine Corps, went to the Naval Hospital looking for Everett. Once inside, he passed a terribly injured patient, and a voice cried out, "Hey, it's me!" And that's how they found each other. After 9 long months of recovery, Mr. Highland was released from the hospital and subsequently returned to sea to fight again. Everett is here today to represent all Pearl Harbor survivors. Everett, facing the USS Arizona, will now lead a salute as she passes close aboard. Carry on, Mr. Highland. We'd like to thank you, the USS Michael Murphy, and the Hawaii Air National Guard for participating in today's ceremony. In the Hawaiian culture, the religious leader or spiritual advisor is known as a kahu. Today, we are pleased to have for our invocation a Hawaii blessing offered by Kahu Kanahele, assisted by Kahu Helen O'Connor.